Disclaimer. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not financial advice, a recommendation, or an endorsement. I am not a financial advisor. All services and requirements are based on public information. You must conduct your own due diligence. Where does serious capital go for elite banking in America's wealth hubs? Real Estate Capital and Growth USA maps the exclusive landscape of private banking for high-net-worth investors, starting with the power markets of Miami and Los Angeles. This is a documentary-style breakdown, profiling institutions based solely on public data and industry reports, zero financial advice. We're examining service structures like dedicated relationship management and bespoke lending, giving you a factual understanding of this high-stakes financial arena. First, let's define what private banking truly means for the ultra-wealthy. Welcome back. To fully understand the world of top elite banks for wealthy investors, we must first define the exclusive landscape of private banking and wealth management, particularly within major U.S. hubs like Miami and Los Angeles. This foundational knowledge is key to appreciating the specific services we will explore. It is critical to remember that this overview is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial guidance. Let's break down this landscape into three core components. First, we have the concept of dedicated relationship management. Unlike traditional retail banking, private banking for high-net-worth individuals in markets like Florida and California is built around a dedicated advisor or team. This team acts as a single point of contact, coordinating all financial services, from complex real estate financing in Miami to investment strategies, relevant to the tech sector in Los Angeles. The focus is on a highly personalized and confidential experience. Second, we examine customized lending and credit solutions. For wealthy investors, credit needs are rarely standard. Elite banks in the USA often structure bespoke solutions, such as jumbo mortgages for luxury real estate in Los Angeles or customized lines of credit for business acquisitions. These are not off-the-shelf products, but are tailored to the individual's specific asset portfolio and financial objectives, which often includes significant real estate holdings. Third, we look at integrated investment and estate planning. This goes beyond simple portfolio management. For high-net-worth clients, especially those with international ties in Miami or multi-generational wealth in California, services include sophisticated strategies for wealth transfer, tax efficiency at the state and federal level, and philanthropic planning. The goal is the long-term preservation and growth of capital across generations. In summary, the private banking landscape for wealthy investors is defined by hyper-personalization, custom solutions, and integrated long-term planning. The factors we will examine in the profiles to follow, such as reported minimum asset thresholds and specialized service offerings, are all viewed through this lens of highly tailored wealth management. This informational overview sets the stage for our specific exploration. With this framework in mind, we can now begin our factual review of specific institutions. Profile 1 or Bank 1, J.P. Morgan Private Bank. Beginning our exploration of top elite banks for wealthy investors, we turn our attention to a dominant global institution, J.P. Morgan Private Bank. This profile, based on publicly available information, offers a factual look at how such entities operate within key U.S. markets, like Miami and Los Angeles. As always, this is an educational overview, not a recommendation or endorsement. Let's examine three defining aspects of their private banking operations. Service spectrum. The first aspect is their comprehensive suite of services. Publicly listed offerings from J.P. Morgan Private Bank include integrated investment management, bespoke credit solutions for major acquisitions like luxury real estate in California and Florida, and sophisticated estate planning strategies. This holistic approach is designed to address the complex financial lives of high-net-worth individuals, focusing on both asset growth and preservation. Geographic specialization. The second aspect is their strategic geographic specialization in the USA. Their Miami office is widely recognized in financial circles for serving a substantial international clientele, with particular expertise in cross-border wealth management for clients from Latin America. Conversely, their Los Angeles presence has a documented focus on sectors like entertainment and technology, providing specialized banking solutions tailored to the liquidity events and investment profiles common in these industries. Client profile and access. The third aspect involves the reported client profile and access requirements. Industry publications and media reports frequently indicate that access to the J.P. Morgan Private Bank requires a significant minimum asset commitment. These thresholds are commonly cited in financial news to be in the tens of millions of dollars, positioning their services for ultra-high net worth individuals and families seeking a comprehensive, institutional-level approach to wealth management. In summary, this profile of J.P. Morgan Private Bank illustrates a model of global scale combined with local market expertise in critical U.S. cities. The institution is characterized by a vast service offering, strategic geographic specialization in Miami and LA, and a clientele that, according to reports, meets a substantial asset threshold. This informational snapshot provides a clear example of one approach to serving the wealthy investor market. This concludes our first profile. The following institutions we will examine often employ different, more specialized strategies. Profile 2 or Bank 2, Goldman Sachs Private Wealth Management. Continuing our analysis of top elite banks for wealthy investors, we now examine a distinct model within the financial landscape, Goldman Sachs Private Wealth Management. This profile outlines how a premier global investment bank structures its services for an exclusive clientele in major American economic centers. This informational review was presented for educational purposes, to illustrate the diversity of options available in the market. We will focus on three key characteristics that define their approach. The integration advantage. The first characteristic is the deep integration with the firm's investment banking resources. The service model is documented to provide clients with direct access to the bank's proprietary deal flow and market insights. This can include opportunities in private equity, hedge funds, and other alternative investments that are typically not available through traditional wealth management channels. This integration is a defining feature for investors seeking access to institutional-grade opportunities. Target clientele. The second characteristic is the highly specific target clientele. A key differentiator often cited in industry analyses is their focus on ultra-high net worth individuals, successful entrepreneurs, and senior corporate executives. This focus is evident in the design of their services, which are tailored to address complex financial situations such as liquidity events from business sales, executive compensation packages, and sophisticated portfolio construction needs. Access parameters. The third characteristic involves the reported access parameters. Financial media and industry reports consistently suggest that the client entry point for Goldman Sachs Private Wealth Management is among the highest in the private banking sector. These reports often reference minimum investable assets significantly above $10 million, with some accounts indicating a focus on clients with assets exceeding $50 million, positioning their services at the apex of the wealth management industry. In summary, this profile of Goldman Sachs Private Wealth Management highlights a unique model centered on leveraging institutional investment banking capabilities for a select private clientele. The approach is defined by exclusive access to alternative investments, a focus on entrepreneurs and executives, and a reported asset threshold that places it at the highest tier of private banking services for wealthy investors in the United States. This model stands in contrast to the more universally accessible services we will explore next. Profile 3 or Bank 3, Bessemer Trust. As we continue exploring top elite banks for wealthy investors, we now examine a fundamentally different approach to wealth stewardship, Bessemer Trust. This profile focuses on a privately owned multifamily office, illustrating an alternative to the large bank model for affluent families across the United States. This information is presented to educate viewers about the variety of structures available in the wealth management landscape. 3 principles define the Bessemer Trust model. The fiduciary structure. The first principle is their foundational structure as a fiduciary. This is a crucial differentiator often highlighted in industry analyses. As a fiduciary, the firm is legally obligated to act solely in the client's best interests. A practical manifestation of this is that they do not manage or sell proprietary investment products. This structure aims to minimize potential conflicts of interest, as their revenue is not tied to promoting in-house products, but rather to providing objective advice on the entire universe of investment options. Multi-generational focus. The second principle is their exclusive focus on multi-generational wealth preservation. The service approach is frequently described as being built around long-term family continuity rather than short-term performance. This involves deeply personalized strategies encompassing estate planning, tax optimization, philanthropy, and education for heirs. The goal is to navigate the complexities of wealth transfer, ensuring that assets are managed according to a family's specific values and vision for the future, often spanning decades. Client profile and access. The third principle relates to their specific client profile. Public information indicates Bessemer Trust primarily works with families possessing a net worth generally reported to be $10 million or more. This threshold reflects the resource-intensive, highly personalized nature of their service model. Their clientele typically consists of families seeking a dedicated partner to manage complex assets and facilitate a smooth transition of wealth across multiple generations, rather than simply executing investment transactions. In summary, Bessemer Trust represents a specialized model centered on fiduciary duty, multi-generational planning, and deep, personalized service for wealthy families. This profile demonstrates an alternative to larger banks, focusing on long-term legacy preservation over product sales. Understanding such differences is key for investors evaluating the spectrum of available wealth management services in the USA. This focus on family legacy contrasts with the industry-specific specialization we will see in our next profile. Profile 4 or Bank 4, City National Bank. Our exploration of top elite banks for wealthy investors now turns to an institution renowned for its niche specialization, City National Bank. This profile examines how a major financial player caters to the unique economic engines of Los Angeles and other creative centers, offering a distinct model for high-earning professionals. This informational review highlights the diversity of specialized services available within the U.S. banking sector. 3 key areas define their specialized approach. Industry-specific focus. The first area is their deep, industry-specific focus. Often referred to in media as the bank to the stars, their documented specialization centers on providing banking and credit solutions for professionals in the entertainment, media, and sports industries. This is highly relevant to the Los Angeles economy. Their teams often include bankers who understand the irregular income streams, intellectual property valuation, and contract-based earnings that characterize these fields, allowing them to structure financial products that align with these unique cash flow patterns. Specialized service model. The second area is their specialized service model tailored to future earnings. They are known for offering highly personalized services such as concierge banking and dedicated lines of credit based on anticipated future earnings. This approach is particularly suited for clients like actors, directors, or athletes who have significant future contract value but may require immediate capital for investments, lifestyle needs, or project funding before those earnings are realized. This represents a form of cash flow management based on professional potential. Accessibility profile. The third area is their accessibility profile within the private banking landscape. Reports from various financial sources often present City National Bank's minimum requirements as being positioned differently from some global giants. While still firmly targeting high net worth individuals, their thresholds are frequently cited as being more accessible, potentially catering to successful professionals at an earlier stage of their wealth accumulation or those with significant high-value future earnings potential, rather than solely focusing on established, liquid asset bases. In summary, City National Bank demonstrates a powerful model of vertical integration within the wealth management sector, building its services around the specific needs of Los Angeles's core industries. This profile highlights how specialization in entertainment, media, and sports, combined with services based on future earnings potential, creates a unique offering for wealthy investors and high-earning professionals in the USA. This example of niche specialization provides a clear contrast to the institution we will examine next. Profile 5 or Bank 5, Northern Trust. Concluding our profiles of top elite banks for wealthy investors, we examine an institution built on a foundation of institutional stewardship, Northern Trust. This final profile explores how expertise developed for large corporations and institutions is extended to private clients, particularly those in strategic locations like Miami. This educational overview completes our picture of the diverse models serving the high net worth community in the United States. 3 pillars support their unique position in the market. Institutional level stewardship. The first pillar is their core expertise in institutional level asset servicing. Northern Trust's stated strength is providing sophisticated custody, accounting, and administrative services for large entities like pension funds and endowments. This same infrastructure and rigorous operational discipline is extended to wealthy individuals. For clients, this translates into services like highly secure investment custody, detailed performance reporting, and comprehensive risk management frameworks typically associated with major institutions, offering a layer of operational security and transparency. Strategic geographic presence. The second pillar is their strategic geographic presence in key U.S. financial hubs. They maintain a significant historical presence in major centers, including a substantial office in Miami that serves both domestic and international clients. This Miami location is particularly relevant for investors with cross-border financial activities, leveraging the city's role as a gateway. Their physical presence in these locations underscores their commitment to serving clients who require both sophisticated asset servicing and connectivity to global markets. Accessible entry point. The third pillar is their structured accessibility. Publicly available information suggests their wealth management services are designed for individuals with a minimum of $1 million in investable assets. This positions them as an entry point into the world of institutional quality services. For clients with larger portfolios, they offer a private client group targeting higher thresholds. This tiered approach allows them to serve a broad range of wealthy investors, from those beginning to build significant assets to those with established, substantial wealth. In summary, Northern Trust represents a unique model that translates institutional-grade asset servicing and operational security into private wealth management. This profile highlights the importance of a strategic presence in cities like Miami and a tiered service approach, providing a pathway from initial wealth accumulation to more complex legacy planning for investors across the United States. This completes our factual review of 5 distinct institutional models. Comparative overview, factual side by side. To summarize this informational review, Here is a comparative overview based on the data we've presented. This is not a ranking, but a factual side-by-side based on common industry metrics for wealthy investors evaluating the landscape in the United States. This visualization is designed to highlight the distinct approaches and specializations we have documented, from institutions with a global investment banking focus to those offering specialized regional services in markets like Miami and Los Angeles. As you can see, each institution has a different historical background and area of focus. This side-by-side comparison clearly illustrates the diversity of options available, underscoring the importance of thorough personal research to identify which model, if any, might align with an individual's specific financial situation and goals, always in consultation with a qualified professional advisor. The imperative of personal due diligence. This exploration reveals a diverse landscape of elite banking options for wealthy investors in the USA. This information serves as an educational starting point only. The essential next step is conducting your own due diligence, schedule consultations, ask detailed questions, and review all options with your independent financial and legal advisors. Thank you for watching. For future objective explorations into institutional finance, subscribe to Real Estate Capital and Growth USA.